Many centuries ago, on the island of Crete, there was a legendary labyrinth that housed a terrible creature known as the Minotaur. This being half man and half bull had been condemned to live in the labyrinth by King Minos as punishment for his crimes. The labyrinth was a dark and tangled place, designed to confuse anyone who ventured inside. The walls were built with an intricate network of passageways and rooms, and the Minotaur lurked within, waiting for any intruder who dared to enter. For years, the people of Crete lived in fear of the presence of the Minotaur and offered tribute to Minos to avoid his wrath. But one day, a brave young man named Theseus decided to put an end to this nightmare. Theseus had heard about the terrible beast and decided to face it. With the permission of King Minos, Theseus entered the labyrinth armed with a sword and a ball of thread. As he moved through the dark passageways, he unwound the thread to make sure he didn't get lost. Finally, he reached the heart of the labyrinth, where he came face to face with the Minotaur. The battle was fierce and brutal. The Minotaur was a formidable creature, but Theseus fought with bravery and determination. After a long and grueling fight, Theseus managed to drive his sword into the beast's heart, ending his reign of terror. With the Minotaur defeated, Theseus followed the thread back to the exit and returned victorious to the city of Crete. The people celebrated his bravery and courage, and Theseus became a legendary hero. However, the labyrinth still remained a grim reminder of the horrors it had harbored. The years passed, and Crete continued to prosper under the reign of Minos. But the shadow of the Minotaur never completely disappeared. It was said that the labyrinth held a dark power that had corrupted the beast and that one day it might be freed again. That day came unexpectedly. One night, a series of earthquakes shook the island of Crete, and the labyrinth partially collapsed, breaching its walls. The Minotaur, who had been trapped for so long, saw an opportunity to escape and did not hesitate to take advantage of it. The people of Crete woke up in horror to see the Minotaur walking freely through the streets of their city. The beast, freed from its prison, was furious and thirsty for revenge. He attacked defenseless citizens, wreaking chaos and destruction everywhere. Minos, desperate to protect the people from him, gathered his best warriors to face the Minotaur once again. But the creature had gained strength and ferocity in its time in the labyrinth and was a formidable foe. Despite the bravery of the Cretan warriors, they were unable to stop the Minotaur. The city of Crete was on the brink of destruction when Theseus, now an older man, returned to the island. He had heard of the tragedy that had unfolded and knew that it was his responsibility to put an end to the nightmare that he himself had once defeated. Theseus faced the Minotaur again in an epic battle in the middle of the streets of Crete. Although he was at a disadvantage due to his age, his determination and previous experience helped him. After a fierce and exhausting fight, Theseus managed to drive his sword into the Minotaur's heart a second time, finishing off the beast once and for all. The city of Crete was in ruins, but the threat of the Minotaur had finally come to an end. Theseus, the legendary hero, had saved the people from him once again. With the Minotaur defeated for the second time, Crete was in ruins, but the people were grateful for Theseus' bravery. The city began the arduous process of reconstruction, and little by little life returned to normal. However, the shadow of the labyrinth and its dark past never completely disappeared. King Minos, advised by his wise men, decided to permanently seal the labyrinth, ensuring that no other hideous creatures could emerge from its depths again. Crete's most skilled masons and builders worked tirelessly to close all entrances to the labyrinth and reinforce its walls, ensuring that no one else would venture inside. The story of the Minotaur and Theseus's defeat of him became a legend that was passed down from generation to generation. Every year, the people of Crete celebrated a great festival in honor of Theseus and in memory of the victims who had fallen at the hands of the Minotaur. Young women wove intricate tapestries depicting history, and theatrical performances were held to commemorate Theseus' brave act. Over time, Crete became a center of culture and wisdom in the ancient world. People slowly began to forget the horrors of the Minotaur, and the labyrinth became a mysterious legend that few dared to mention. However, the labyrinth never ceased to be a dark and enigmatic place, and some claimed that it still held hidden and dangerous secrets. Although it was sealed and abandoned, stories of its hidden passageways and mysterious traps passed from mouth to mouth. Centuries after the defeat of the Minotaur, an intrepid adventurer named Leander arrived in Crete. He had heard of the legends of the labyrinth and was determined to discover the truth behind them. Despite warnings from locals, Leandro began investigating the labyrinth, searching for its secret entrance. For weeks, he explored the island in search of clues and ancient maps that would lead him to the hidden labyrinth. Finally, he found a secret entrance in a hidden cave on the coast of Crete. With a torch in his hand and a brave heart, he stepped into the unknown. What Leandro found inside the labyrinth surpassed his worst nightmares. He discovered dark, twisting passageways that led to rooms filled with strange artifacts and ancient statues. As he moved further and further, he began to sense a dark presence lurking in the shadows. What Leandro did not know was that the labyrinth, despite being sealed, still retained a part of the Minotaur's power. A dark and vengeful entity, the spirit of the Minotaur, had survived in the depths of the labyrinth and was ready to take revenge on any intruder who dared enter its domain. Leandro's story became a legend of its own, but not as a brave adventurer who revealed the secrets of the labyrinth, but as a warning to all those who ventured into its dark passages. The labyrinth, despite being sealed and forgotten by most, remained a dangerous and mysterious place, and its dark past never stopped lurking in the shadows.